Nah, I was just going to
Are you live? Yeah. Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Kakadash.
All right, basically, we're just talking about it, gonna flow right through the spirit. All right, going into that time of peace and safety. First Thessalonians 5:3, or the spirit, I should say, of peace and safety that's out here right now. And that spirit is causing a lot of people to start to lose that. Hey, matter of fact, that's in the parable that Yahweh Shai gave about the servant who says, "My Lord delayeth his coming." And one thing about that servant is his mind ain't focused on the job. Because if his mind was focused on the job, he ain't gonna have that enough time to be thinking, yo, hey, everything is on chill, I got time. There ain't no such thing. Now, because see, we always say this during the pandemic, everybody was on their D's and Q's, right? Because it looked like, oh, shit is about to pop up. Let me make sure I'm good. So if this thing does escalate, I'm gonna be all right, And then the Lord basically, had it pass, and then that spirit now people getting complacent, and that goes for people who know they're Israelites as well as people who don't know they're Israelites. All right, because you got people that know they're Israelites, but they also feeling that peace and safety. So now they going into folly, instead of sticking to the main thing that the Lord told us to do, Ezekiel the 3rd chapter, which is to what? Eat the whole roll and go and teach the house of Israel. Ezekiel 3:17, give Israel warning from the Lord. All right, not go and do Ruach challenges and that's the spirit of folly. And when does folly come in? When there's peace, when they feel peace and safety. Because if you felt the time was urgent, you would be serious, right? You would be right about it. So whatever Christians I got,
page 20, I start at 24. And his power shall be mighty, but not by his own power. And he shall destroy wonderfully, and shall prosper in practice, and shall destroy the mighty and holy people. And with his policy he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand, and he shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace shall destroy many.
That's the point right there. And by peace shall destroy many. Now we know originally that was talking about Antiochus Epiphanes, but applying that now prophetically to Esau, by this peace, look, man, there's a reason they're called a serpent. And there's also a reason the Lord told us to be wise as serpents. Because serpents, man, when you look at a video, for example, right, where you have a snake inside the little bin, right, a little snake tank, and then they drop the food. If it's a live mouse, okay, and it's in there, the snake doesn't attack right away. Because initially the mouse is scared, and then the snake just stays there as if it doesn't exist. All right, and then what? The mouse starts to get comfortable. All right, then it starts getting closer to the snake and starts looking at the snake, then it'll turn around. And then you'll see the snake coil its neck, and then right when it's ready, it springs and it attacks, and it doesn't miss. And that's why the scriptures say in Revelation 12:12, woe unto you, all right, the inhabitants of the earth, for the devil has come down onto you having great wrath. This devil has prepared you by first upping your defenses and then dropping it all the way to the ground. Okay? And these people don't see, man. The EU just came out, as we said, and brought that whole, they launched it, the digital wallet, the digital ID, digital wallet. And we were talking about something like this back in 2019. It was an ID 2020 that they wanted to do and link it up. And they had the jab, and then they had this thing that was exactly. So these devils are moving fast, man. And it's scary because Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, the closer we get to prophecies, the more folly people are doing. The more people are falling off from the race, the more people are losing focus on what's really important. Okay? And so as the elder just read, that by peace shall destroy many, man. Because with peace you let your guard down. And when you let your guard down, even the weakest can get your ass, man.
Howard Child shall come like a thief in the night. In order for him to come like a thief in the night, he's going to have to go back home. uproar and people was expecting this and expecting that, the Lord's not going to come back during that time because people was looking for prophecy. People are buying Bibles. People are, you know what I'm saying? But once the society goes back to sleep and everybody think things is hunky-dory, people scanning and swiping their hands, that's when the Yahweh Shai going to crack those crowds. So it's all, really, it all ties into prophecy of him coming back in that surprisingly tight manner.
Chapter 33, verse 25. If thou set thy servant to labor, thou shalt find rest. But if thou let him go idle, he shall seek liberty. A yoke and a collar do bow the neck, so are tortures and torments of an evil servant. Send him to labor, that he be not idle, for idleness teacheth much evil.
And that's why the Lord called us to do this work. It's a work. And you have the talents that he gave his servants, some 10 pounds, some 5 pounds, some 1 pound. To what? Occupy till I come. That means we're servants that have been put to work. So if you're not working and you're being idle, even though the Lord commanded you to work, he said, be fervent in spirit. What did Paul say? Not slothful in business, fervent in spirit. So if you're not fervent in spirit and you're being slothful and then you start slacking, Yahweh Shem Yahushua is going to destroy you. It doesn't matter what you know or what you've been doing. It's about what you are doing now and what you will continue to do. All right. The Lord said, he that endures unto the end, not he that endured close to the end, or he that endured for 10 years, he that endured unto the end. Yahweh Shai needs to come and see you doing the work. And then he's going to tell you what? Well done, my good and faithful servant.
Yeah. Ecclesiasticus chapter 33, verse 25. If thou set thy servant to labor, thou shalt find rest.
Now, if you set your servant to labor, you're going to find rest. And it's similar to how babysitters, like if you're babysitting a child, when the child is bored and they have nothing to do, that's when they become troublemakers. Because their mind is all a million different ways. And so you got to keep them occupied. And you do it with, where you put on a TV show or you put something to occupy their mind so they can stay still. And all right, he's busy doing this. So I know he ain't doing no mischief anywhere else. So if you set your servant to labor, if you put them to work, if you give them a task so they can serve, then okay, I know this is what such and such is doing. That means that they're not stealing from me, they're not plotting on me, they're too busy doing work. And you're gonna find rest.
Let your car idle for hours, fuck it up. You have to drive it for, especially diesel engine. If you know about diesel, like when I did EMT, a lot of those ambulances took diesel gas, and he used to always say, it was a problem because it's hot as hell in the summer. We don't got no cars. We sitting in the truck. We gonna turn the AC on, but in order to turn the AC on, you gotta turn the engine on. But with those diesel engines, if you turn the diesel engine type car on and let it sit there idle, it fucks the engine up. So the owner complaining like, yo, you going in my car, but we like, yo, we hot as hell. You know what I'm saying? So that was like the problem. But if you let a car sit there and idle, it actually destroys the parts that you actually driving it and moving it around. You just letting it sit there. It's work. It happens on regular gas cars and trucks, but it's also worse on the diesel cars and trucks. Now also with water, if you let water sit in one spot, like if you know about lakes, they got water flowing in and water flowing out. All of those lakes that just got water sitting there, those ponds and shit, it becomes idle and it would turn into like mosquito. That's when the fucking mosquitoes start coming around. That's when the turtles and these different parasites and bugs and pests start coming around because the water turn idle, and it's not flowing water, it's not moving water, it's not living water. So it get bacteria, it get all these pathogens and turn idle. So it's the same thing with these people that come around. The mosquitoes, a lot of your wicked friends come around when they find out you home and you ain't doing something. You go to sit up in the business and working. There's a lot of people that leave you alone because you always like, I want to know. But they find out you're home and you're not doing shit. That's why they say misery loves company. But that all comes from what? out from being idle.
That's why Esau built the system to keep everyone busy. You know, that's why you work every single day. It's either you're in school or you work. Oh yeah, yeah. See, they do that on purpose because when you go back into the time of Egypt, that's what the Pharaoh was saying. He's like, they idle. They got enough work to do. That's why they able to sit here and complain about they want to go and worship their God. So give them more work to do. You see? So that's what Esau is doing. But the thing is, this is all spiritual. Like the brother mentioned in the beginning, it's a spiritual thing. You see? So yeah, you might say, oh, keep them busy. But the way the Lord set it up, you can keep us busy all you want. When the awakening begins, you can't stop it. You see? It's like putting a dam to stop water. It's gonna happen where there's gonna be a flood that's gonna go over the dam sometime. You know, it might not happen all the time, but at one time it caused so much damage that money can't even fix it. All right, and that's what's happening right now. There's a flood of information, specifically this truth. All right, that Esau can't stop. All right, he can't stop it, man. So he's talking about using distractions, but that's not even working, man, because the people are not falling for it though.
Yeah, all right. What's the problem? When you asleep, you're stationary, you're not moving, and that's working for Esau. But when you wake up, what happens when you wake up in the morning? You lay in the same spot all the way until nighttime. Not until nighttime. You know, you're on your phone, you're still turning around, you moving. You know, if you got an itch, you scratch it, whatever. But you get up out of your bed, you go rinse your face, you do something because you're awake. Now, Esau, that's the problem. We're awake. So he's not able to keep us in that zone of being asleep. Because when you're asleep, what happens? Somebody could walk into your room doing whatever the hell they want to do. You're knocked out. You ain't gonna do nothing, you sleep. Once you're awake, somebody comes into your room, you're looking at them, what you doing here? What do you need? It's hard for them to try and do something behind your back. And that's why they need to eliminate it. Because it's either he's asleep and he doesn't see what I'm doing, or he's awake and I gotta kill him because he saw what I'm doing. And that's why they're trying to adapt, they're killing us, they're trying to kill us digitally, all right, via the information. We bring information, they bring misinformation. We bring information, they say it's disinformation. We create channels, they take those channels down. It's like right now it's a battle on that level, but eventually they're going to start to come on the physical level because they can't stop this. They can stop that, but they can't stop this. So now it's easy to label medical misinformation guidelines on there. But what guidelines are you going to use for us physically standing out here teaching the word of the Lord? Well, you can't stand out here. So now they're going to stop it. But even in that, it says in Isaiah 59:19 that the Lord's going to let you pass.
That's basically a Cold War. Right now we're in a Cold War with Esau. Right. You know, it's a battle between righteousness and evil, all right, wickedness in terms of information. All right, Esau is out here propagating, like open up with, you know, the folly that's on the earth right now, man. Right? People doing all types of madness, round challenge, you know, you're gonna break it down. You're gonna break it down.
No, but this is within Israel. You know, when you got Israelites coming, it's some corny ass dance, they doing like something like that. And Ruach, they trying to say Rakah, spirit. And they say it's just positive. But for you to be, you must be real comfortable to come up with something like that, right? You know, I think it was the IUIC. Yeah, coming up with that. Yeah, so if you are in the spirit of hastening the coming of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, what else should you be in the spirit of? Prepare it, because what does the coming of the day of the Lord mean? Isaiah 13:6. What does the day of the Lord look like? So if you're hastening for that day to come, shouldn't you be getting ready so when it comes, you're prepared? If there's a storm coming or a flood coming, or let's just go with a storm, and you're hastening for the storm to come, at the same time, you're in the supermarket buying a flashlight, buying batteries, buying water, buying food, and so on and so forth. You ain't gonna sit, oh, the storm is coming, but you're not ready. That's not wise. Okay? You got it? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, that, you know, basically this is the information age. We're going through a battle which we could consider a Cold War between us and Esau. But eventually, what a Cold War is going to be, what? A hot war. It's going to get physical, like you said. So, you know, when that time comes, that's when that the Lord is going to lift up that stand and go back to Isaiah 59:19. So we know it's going to happen. They're doing it. They're attacking us on the youth in so many different ways. So what makes you think they're not going to do it physically, man? You see, they just put the prelims. They're letting us know who the targets are, and for us, those who speak the truth of Yahweh Shemel Shai. Because the problem isn't YouTube. The problem isn't us being on YouTube. The problem is us playing. Yeah, because it's not about you're saying it on YouTube. It's about what you're saying. So now, if they stop us on YouTube, well, we go to a different platform. So that doesn't stop the problem. That's like when people say God hates the sin, not the sinner. The problem isn't the sin. The problem is the sinner. That's the core. Sin is just a byproduct of breaking the law. That's really what sin is. So if there's sin in the world, you got to look at the cause of the sin. The cause ain't the law, is the person breaking the law. So why doesn't the Lord punish sin? Why does he punish sinners? Because they're the problem. So Esau says, it ain't YouTube, it's us. We're the problem. So they want to come after us.
It's just like, responding to something somebody has to say that has less subscribers than you. By you giving them attention, you're going to boost their channel. Like when Jay-Z said, I'm about $1, what the fuck is 50 Cent? And 50 Cent was just coming out, but 50 Cent told Jay-Z, thanks, nigga, you made me rich. Why? Because 50 Cent ain't have the buzz like that. And when 50 Cent did, he did a diss song to Jay-Z. And nobody really knew what 50 Cent was, but by Jay-Z responding to that diss song on Summer Jam by saying, I'm about $1, what the fuck is 50 Cent? And people are like, oh, that gave 50 Cent all the publicity he need to push his career. So Esau, for the longest, he ignored us. Oh, fuck them guys, ain't nobody. This, that, they ain't done it. But now this truth is blowing up and blowing going everywhere. All over the video game, all over the internet, all over everything. So now Esau, like, I can't continue with it. So that's why he said, we shall be consumed by the spirit of the revelation. Like a little fire is going on. And you go and shoot ball and come on. Like, that's a little bad. And you're like, man, I gotta do something about this, And that's when they trying to, Esau want to come for us directly and actually put his hands on us. But before that, this devil is moving in ignorance. He dealing with the YouTube and shit like that, man. He want to talk shit like that or have coming up conversation. But look, we can see from a mile away because we in these hot zones. Like you shit somebody over here, it ain't like we fucking Times Square. We got millions of people. You should have arranged for provocateur in an area like this where we at now. We gonna see on the spot up in Harlem where we be up there, see it like that. What you doing? Like you said, it's obvious. So it's hard for you devils to blend in. But you're going to gradually try to come and do little semantics. All that shit is going to fail. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. Your man is going to try to put your hands in it and bring them to it. But y'all going to go about it because each shit. Before you get to that point, you're going to do a lot of pussy, fucking shit. They're trying to agitate you and frustrate you. But this is the same time that we're doing for this man in America. If we let him alone, all men will believe on him. And the Romans shall come and take away both our place and our nation. And basically, IUIC and all these fake ass men that sold out to these devils, if not all of their congregation, their leadership did, that sold out to these devils, basically, this government is like modern day Rome. And they set them up to come against the real men of the Lord. If you ever check it out anywhere, a Great Millstone campus, you got an IUIC camp, a GOCC camp, an ISUBK camp. Even in North, where we was at, they you got IUIC across the street now. We haven't been in North for a while. Guess who's standing in the spot now? ISUBK. We went down in the camp one time. We just left. It was all good. But the whole point is, if you notice, like, yo, Even in Elizabeth, who's across the street, GLCC. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like Esau has paid trying to fight fire with fire. Like now I'm gonna come at them with their own so-called belief. So he bodies different groups out, and wherever the men of the Lord is, he try to set up opposite or opposing camps across the street from him. But see, now the Lord done tucked his men away into secret chambers. We still out teaching on the YouTube, but we in isolated type areas. Y'all can have them fucking zones, you know, because a lot of that is just vainglory. We down Times Square. You know what I mean? Curse down the whole New York. You know what I mean? You know, like cut the bottoms of bottom. That's just Times Square. You know what I'm saying? It's like really like a show, man. Fuck those zones, man. Because a lot we taught in those zones. Apostles was on 34th and 7th for years, man. That's a hot zone. Madison Square Garden, all that right there. And all people did was scoff. Few brothers woke up and all that, but there was a bunch of scoffers and people talking shit, man. Now the Lord is tucking his word more into a corner, then he's gonna snatch it off the earth. But people said, if we let him alone, all men will believe on him because his truth is spreading. The doctrine of Yahweh is spreading to all the continents of the earth. You are seeing all these other camps, they don't have that vibration. They don't have that vibration of having camps and doctrine. It's not even about the camps, it's the truth about the doctrine. That's what it is. See, we just say great wills of the pinpoint, but really it's the doctrine of Yahweh Shah, and it's the doctrine of Satan. But you can't really fucking compete, man. You can't compete. You try to buy these groups to combat the prophets to confuse the sheep. Like, yo, it's a group right there, it's a group right there, it's a group over there. Who do we believe? But the Lord said, what? My sheep hear my voice, man. And that's what y'all fucking devils trying to do. Y'all trying to cause confusion. That's why I said, if we let him alone, all men will believe on him. And the Romans shall come and take away both our place in our nation. So them niggas was getting paid off. That's it.
We said, going back to the point, this is the book of 1 Thessalonians. It's a book of 1 Thessalonians, 5, verse 1. It says, but of the times and the seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. Right? So, what are they doing right now? Now, they're not literally saying these are safety with their words, right? But their actions are showing that they're not in a sense of concern. They have their guard is not up. They're not alert, you know, because now what? The mask is going down, you know, people are looking around, they're like back to normal. That's like the captions nowadays, back to normal. Or that's people's minds, you know, or at least, you know, we got the summer back and so on and so forth. Well, guess what? The Lord said when you get into that zone, that's the perfect time when what? Sudden destruction, meaning one that you're not going to see in time to escape from. Okay? It's going to come upon them as a woman in travail, and then the Lord says they shall not escape. Because something could come upon you suddenly, but you might escape it. You know, you might, oh shit, you might panic run, and you might still make it away. Well, the Lord said this one that's coming, when it suddenly comes upon you, you're not going to escape. Okay, because this is going to be a judgment that's going to sit. All right, as the scriptures say, the judgment shall sit, and it's going to consume all of you, man. When the judgment comes, it's going to come individually, and it's going to come in groups. You're going to have some people who get judged as groups, and you're going to get people that get judged individually, man. Brutal.
That was 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, right?
Yeah.
Okay, this is 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 in the Bible commentary. Yeah, the Bible Hub commentary. This is going from verses 1 to 5. It says, it is needless or useless to ask about the particular time of Yahweh's coming. Yahweh did not reveal this to the apostles. There are times and seasons for us to work in, and these are our duty and interest to know and observe. But as the time when we must give up our account, we know it not, nor is it needful that we should. The coming of Yahweh will be a great surprise to them, so sensible as the hour of death is the same to each person that judged the fate of mankind in general. So the same remarks answer for both. And here's the quote. It says, your Yahushua's coming will be terrible to the ungodly. Their destruction will overtake them while they dream of happiness and please themselves with vain amusement.
And what do you see going on? Yeah, that was, hey, what do you see going on? People are trying to please themselves with vain amusement because they felt robbed. They felt like last year was robbed from them. And they didn't have, like you said, they're going to come out with swarms now because last year summer they couldn't do that. So for some people, it feels as though it's been like maybe 2 years since they had that actual summer that they could come out and be hoes or come out and do whatever vain, like it says, amusement they can do. Yeah, hot girl summer, opening up clubs again, staying out late. They couldn't do that last year because it was a lockdown. So now they're going right back into that, thinking, oh yeah, and you know when you've been held back from something you really want to do for a while, when you get let loose, you're going all out. You know, and that's the spirit thing. Yeah, in the clubs and all this shit. That's what the Most High wants you. That's the spirit he wants the wicked to be in, so that he can get you in the act, man.
The Mark 5:7. Make no tarrying to turn to the Lord, and put it not off from day to day. For suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord come forth, and in thy security thou shalt be destroyed, and perish in the day of vengeance.
There you go. Suddenly shall the destruction come. See, that's why the Lord said this wicked generation seeking for sign, but they ain't gonna get no sign. Why is that? Because if all hell broke loose last year, continuing after the pandemic, that would have been a sign for people to get right, because they're seeing it coming, right? You're seeing the storm clouds gathering, but the Lord said you ain't getting no sign, because I want to see your true nature. I want to see you when you think that everything's all good, when you're comfortable, I want to see what you're doing. And those that truly care about my word, they will be seeking me, seeking earning, right? With the evil days coming up. So those that truly care about the Lord are going to seek him before even any of the evils come. And then when the evils come, they're gonna be delivered. But those that are out here like, oh yeah, you know, we got time, they're waiting, thinking they're gonna get a warning, thinking you're gonna hear a fire alarm before you can evacuate. No, the fire, you're gonna smell the smoke, and then when you go to run out the door, it's gonna be blocked off with fire, and you're gonna stay in that room, and you're either gonna die from the smoke or you're gonna burn to death. That's how Yahweh Shai is coming to get you, man.
That's a prophecy. That's all the ancient prophets all talked about this thing, man. They talked about the Lord raising up a spirit, somebody from the nation of Israel to deliver his people, man. But right now, you know, throughout the whole world, what kind of people in the world do you think need deliverance from something, man? Look at the conditions of so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans, man. Let's take America here, for example. All right, we're at the bottom of the bottom, man. We always say this, but when you actually look into it, yo, Jake is he's taking an L every single day. You see, that's why you got a lot of these celebrities who are coming around and trying to push this energy of, oh, let's come together and stand up against the oppressor. The thing is, how many times throughout history have people done that, man? That's not what the scriptures say. The scriptures never said in the last days, the people gonna rise up and kill the oppressor and beat them up and change things and set up Black Wall Street again. Never says that. It says that there's going to be a savior who's going to come and save them, because we ain't coming to this captivity on our own. There was a power that put us in this captivity, and it's the same power who's going to get us about it. You see? So you got P. Diddy talking about we need money. All right, we got to come together. Look at Black Wall Street. You're never going to build Black Wall Street, because when you built it, what happened? The Lord destroyed it. To give you a point, he's telling you, Micah 2:10. Okay, so all these things that's happening right now, just like how Black Wall Street went down, just like how all these other revolutions with Black Panther movements and all these Grandmaster Jay, it's all gonna go down. All right, until Yahweh Shai comes and cracks the sky, ain't gonna be no revolutions here on this earth for you so-called Blacks, Latinos, Native Americans, man.
Well, they tried it back in 70 AD, and what happened? The whole Jerusalem got messed up, and now they're trying to do that black. If it ain't Israelite, then it ain't right. You know, and the Most High he's gonna do away with it, because he's showing you that he's not dealing with black. Black people get killed. Black people protest, and no justice comes to black people. because the Lord ain't dealing with black. True justice comes from Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. But thank you. Namely the elect. You know? So when they, hey man, the Lord is showing you that, look, I'll put you here for your captivity. Read Deuteronomy 28 and 28 chapter 15 on down. The Lord is telling you, yo, this ain't happening because of Esau. No, it's happening because of me. Esau, it says that the wicked is the sword of the Lord, right? So the reason all these things are happening is because the Lord put you here for your captivity. You're supposed to be punished over here, man. So when you out here trying to overturn, you know, the prophecy, and you're trying to do good in your captivity, it's not going to work. Because when you prosper, I believe there's a scripture that says prosperity and adversity both come from the Lord. So whether you prosper or not comes from the Lord. And there's a time for everything. And right now is not a time for you to prosper in this place because this place is going to be destroyed. There's Romans chapter 2, starting from verse 7. It says, Romans chapter 2, starting from verse 8. It says, but unto them that are contentious and do not obey the truth, but obey unrighteousness, indignation, and wrath. Now, you heard the brothers talking about how, you know, when you woke to this truth, and what happens that you actually work, right? You do work to it, right? So you have people out here who are in that mindset of that Haran spoke of, thinking that, you know, riches are going to save them, their money, business, okay? Like black power, stand up. Policing your own community is what's going to save them. But those people are bucked the fuck up because they don't really understand the truth. They don't really understand the works. See, when the scripture speaks of having patience and faith in this work, they think of it as sitting on your ass, being ass deep in the chair, and then looking at it in the eye and in the sky and wait for the Most High to come. But that's not the case. See, because if they really about this truth and they really did this, they really understood and strive for this work, for this word, they will know that it's actually work that is put into it. It's actually physical and mental work that's speak into it. And although every word that you speak, every verse that you quote, it does not bring down a skyscraper, they don't believe that it actually have much more devastating effect in the spirit, which later on manifests in the physical realm. So here it is. These people are bugged out, going because like insanity, man. The same insanity that Esau have is what they have. Because what have you not done before? What gangs have you not formed before? What Black Panther Party have you not formed before? How many white people's head have you not chopped before? Because history is full of them. There were a lot more slaves going around fighting and doing the same thing. How many businesses have you erected but still live in the slums? You're doing the same thing over and over and over again, but there's nothing that's clicking in your head. Same madness, same stupidity. But here it is, you have, man, because when you really think about it, right, like Esau, here it is, Esau is so, I think with one Jake, I think she was a woman, she was, she made a statement of how slavery has been perfected, on how Esau has perfected the situation that they're in right now, because she's thinking of it carnally. Everything that they do carnally is not working. And then she's thinking of how Esau has actually perfected it. So in her mind, she's thinking that Esau is all powerful. Now Esau is out here scared of something that he can't see in the sky, like that guy, the guy in Pentagon. Yeah, I think I posted on my channel. He's talking about how, you know, he sees a chariot, right? He's telling the reporter there's no sense of propulsion, there's no aerodynamics. So now imagine something that can fly 300,000 miles per hour. That's what we're dealing with. He tells them, imagine this thing, and then he tells them that's what we're dealing with. Esau, being all powerful as you think, is dealing with something that's supposed to be an imagination. And this same power is trying to back you up, and you don't want that shit. What happens to you? You're fucked. What you call it? Carnally aspirate. You know what's going on? You're a fucking idiot. You're doing the same thing over and over again. You know, it's crazy, man. It's people out here. Yeah.
That's why the scripture said you can see by his.
That's right.
You know? God. There's a book of Ezekiel chapter 11. Hey, that's why he said, I shall laugh at your calamity.
Right.
You know, that's everyone, man. There's a book of Ezekiel chapter 11, verse 2. It says, then said he unto me, son of man, these are the men that devise mischief and give wicked counsel in this city, which say it is not near.
Yeah, that's what they say. It's not near. You know, like that wicked servant. And what Nate say, you say, ain't no Jacob trouble. You saying it is not near. It's true. Ain't no microchips. It's true. I was slipping this year, but every June 1st, I always did a video saying that shit. A little 20-second video. You know, but it says what? These are men that wicked counsel saying it's not there. Read on.
It says, and give wicked counsel in this city, which say it is not near.
Right.
Let us build houses.
Yeah, but they wanted to build supermarkets. They put the block down. He built it down in Georgia. He built in a fucking kid. He trying to knock trees and shit down and build an Israelite community. You know, he trying to these different guys got all types of projects in advance. It's there. It is far off. Again.
It says from the top, Ezekiel 11 verse 2. Then said he unto me, Son of man, these are the men that devise mischief and give counsel, wicked counsel in this city, which say it is not near. Let us build houses. This city is the cauldron, and we be the flesh.
Now that's a ill parable. A cauldron is a pot, and if you know about like a flesh, like a steak, man, or some lobster, you could cook that shit. Or you could go to work, put that shit on low, and come home, and you could still cook that shit. Like them steaks, you know? Like Big L said, I cooked the mic like a beef steak. Because what? A steak, you could cook the shit out of that shit. I mean, you could cook that shit for like 18 hours, 20 hours if you wanted to. It'll be done, but if you really wanted to sit and let it simmer and cook down, you could cook the shit out of a steak. But the Lord said the city is like the pot, and these people are the steak. So these people are basically marinating in the folly and foolishness and the comfortability of this world. Like a steak would marinate in that boiling water and just for hours and hours getting tenderized and hours getting tenderized. So that was an ill parable how the Lord compared the people that want to live in this world and make it in this world. They is like a piece of meat sitting in that boiling water, meaning they want to get tenderized in this place. They want to sit in this shit for a long time, man. They want to marinate in wickedness. You know what I mean? They want to get broken down to the, you know, when you cook something for man long and fall off the bone, that's the mentality of these fucking people, man. They want to get marinated and cooked till they fucking wickedness fall off the bone. Here, this is Isaiah 56:12. Come ye, say they, I will fetch wine, and we will fill ourselves with strong drink, and tomorrow shall be as this day, and much more abundant. So it's like the elder was saying, that's their mindset. We go out, we party, we drink, and tomorrow we're gonna do the same thing. And the next weekend or the next day, we're gonna do the same thing. They want to continue to marinate and enjoy wickedness. The scripture says folly is folly is joy to him that is destitute of wisdom. Quick precept. It's a book of Luke chapter 17, verse 26. And as it was in the days of Noe, so shall it be also in the days of the Son of Man. They did eat, they drank, they married wives, they were given in marriage until the day that Noe entered into the ark. Yeah, that's the Greek for Noah. It says, and the flood came and destroyed them all. Likewise, also, as it was in the days of Lot, they did eat, they drank, they bought, they sold, they planted, they builded. But the same day that Lot went out of Sodom, it rained fire and brimstone from heaven and destroyed them all. Even thus shall it be in the day when the Son of Man is revealed.
That means that what? People gonna be buying and selling. It's just at this time they're gonna be using a special type of currency. All right, because when the Lord comes, you're gonna have certain places that are gonna be completely messed up, but you're gonna have other parts that are gonna be quote unquote fine, where people are gonna be, you know, doing their regular day-to-day shit, you know. And so, you know, of course, man, they show you a lot of these movies. I was telling you earlier, like the safe zones or the good areas is super advanced, super technologicalized, but the people in there are almost like robots. They just Right. Yeah, they're just part of the system. Right. And then when you step out of that area, that's when the real shit. You got the rebels, you got the hideouts. Then you got, if it's a plate, you got the wild animals out or the wild animals out. It looks like a wasteland. But you have certain sanctuary areas where it's super advanced, and those people are considered like to being part of the beast system. I've never seen that.
So hey, going back to gated community. See, Esau, if he's gonna come with his, it said the enemy shall be well with their people. But we got the iron and stuff because right now he using the vaxxers versus the non-vaxxers. Because if this devil like, look, why fight them with my military and I can have them fight each other? So the vaxxers getting on the non-vaxxers like, yo, it's like a child, two kids that's brothers, like, yo, you fucking it up for all of us. You know what I'm saying? So now everybody come down on one or two individuals or like a class clown. And they be like, listen, if you don't stop making jokes, none of y'all are doing a reset. So now everybody in the class turn on this one individual. Like, come on, man. We're trying to go on this and that, this and that. And that caused like the discrepancy. So Esau using the public versus the public. And he's going to use things of this world to start out. So he got one area of Brooklyn that's like a gated community. And everybody else is outside. But until you comply and conform to the society, you can't get into this gated community. And that's what's going on a lot now. That's being built up is gated communities, one way in and one way out. But they go even on Netflix, you can get a chance to watch it. It was on Lifetime Movie Network. I don't think it's Netflix, but you got to find the type in the colony. And it was based off of, it was based off of they moved into this area. They thought it was all hunky-dory, but the shit wasn't there. It was like a gated community. It had all these foods and all of that. And that's how Esau's coming. He's really bringing his new world order in thus far as teasing the people with certain luxuries and certain benefits. See, the middle of the world, we don't give a fuck about a football stadium or a basketball stadium. Because what? We don't love not the world, even the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in them. So we don't care about shit like that. But these people who want to get into these certain areas and do certain things or travel internationally and do certain things, they're going to have to be vaccinated or microchipped. And he's going to use your inner demon of wanting to have fun, and he's going to use what you see other people doing to tease you and wanting to do that. And a lot of people is going to comply and conform to the ways that it's done.
That's why, hey, like the elder just said, these devils have a plan. You see, everything is step by step, gradually. But if you actually know what's happening, these events are not a surprise to you. You see, we have the secrets. We know what's going on. That's why when the EU starts saying things like, we're going to have a digital currency, and then the US is saying, oh, we're paying close attention to what the EU is doing. Hey, you got to understand, Aaron Russo was talking about it years ago. He said they wanted to create something called the Amero, which is what? The currency, that one global currency, which was Americans and the Europeans are going to be using the same thing, and they're going to call it Amero. You see? So the digital, they might not call it Amero because that's, the conspiracy theories are becoming reality. So they might not want to give you that credit. So they'll say, what they say, the BCI, basic what's that thing? UBI, universal basic income, and then they also have the digital income. Digital wallet.
Well, they did mention the digital dollar.
Digital dollar.
They mentioned that, and then they slowed down on it a bit. But then now they talk about central bank digital currency. So you have a digital currency, and then you have a digital wallet. Where does your currency or your money go into? Your wallet, right? So now instead of dispatching your money, your dollars into your bank account, you go deposit into your digital wallet. Now, yeah, and now they actually trying to kill off. Yeah,
everybody, get you some crypto, and that's all the scam of the elite.
Yes. And why is it called crypto? What does crypto mean? Hidden. All right, means going back to what the word crypto, which means what? Hidden. Okay, so they showing you the hidden hand. This is what we're trying to do now.
Hidden currency.
The hidden currency. You see, so it started with a whole so-called pandemic, and then as the months went on, they kept coming up with these different solutions for the problems. But then, if you really know what's happening, you know this was something they wanted to do. Those solutions were there already, but they had to find steps to get there. They had to convince the people that we need to get to this point. Because any other reason, the people will be like, nah, fuck that. We're not doing this. There'll be a resistance. But going back to the plans they've had, going all the way back to 1776, they've had a plan, and then they forwarded it back in 1911, 1912 with the sinking of the Titanic and the building of the Federal Reserve Bank. Okay, so when they had that going on, it was just a matter of time. And they said by the time they were done, they're gonna finish with the UK, they're gonna finish with France, they're gonna finish with China, they're gonna finish with Russia. All right, that's why they got rid of the Russian czars and so on and so forth, because they were against that communist way of
They
thinking.
did the same thing with the French.
The
The
French,
whole French Revolution, they also get away with the monarchy.
yes,
Do away with that.
exactly.
And to bring in that democratic.
Exactly. So when they came up with these ideas, they said, by the time we get to America, America is going to be so beat down, so done. It's going to be like a rifle that's going to fall right into our hands. And that's what we see right now. There's no resistance. Yeah. You see, when this thing started, we said, oh, they got military troops because they had to have that on deck, just in case the people rise up. But you've seen everything happen. The people are literally embracing their servitude, man. You see, so the hidden, crypto shit that they're trying to do. Every commercial you go on YouTube, it's either StreamYard commercial or cryptocurrency. It's annoying as hell, man. Every day, get crypto. It's almost like, yeah, all that shit, man. What do you think that's for?
Dumbass niggas talking about buying crypto. These niggas don't shoot about niggas never invested in nothing but an ounce of meat. These niggas like, get you some crypto, man. Bitcoin is doing this. Man, you can triple double your money, man. Future millionaires, get you some Bitcoin. Everybody is going crazy over this crypto shit. But the elites is booby trapping the game, man.
And just like you say, they basically play Jeopardy with these people, because in Jeopardy, they'll tell you the answer, and you gotta basically ask the question, right? Yeah, what is? And so what they did is their solution, usually the reasonable way is to provide solutions to problems. No, they have solutions they want. Now that they gotta come up with problems to tailor to that. So they create a problem that's gonna lead you to the solution that they want. So, all right, well, let's take the Patriot Act, for example. I want to control over you. I want you to want me to want control over you. So now I'm going to create a problem. I got to create a problem where when I present the solution, you're going to say, oh, perfect. I was looking for the solution. And then they got your ass, man.
A brother in chat posted a precept, Prince of Yahweh. This is Micah chapter 6, verse 12. For the rich men thereof are full of violence, and the inhabitants thereof have spoken lies, and their tongue is deceitful in their mouth.
And that's exactly what it is. Because when you watch the commercial, the side effects are things they say fast and they say so fast. Right? Side effect thing.
Yeah.
That's what they do. You're bleeding, you have a heart attack, it's just a headache. Yeah, consult a doctor. Consult a doctor before taking this medication. If you're pregnant, don't take this medication, you can death. But for $9.99, you can get this beautiful. And then you do this, they always playing the happy music in the background. They always got some whack ass dick with a hat twisted in. Oh, welcome. My experience with Viagra was that, over 30 years ago, all that BS and shit. I'm like, yo, man, you gonna take this shit and you like that? You like, yo.
That's the deception. That's why Esau uses the media. You see, they gotta have a medium so it can go into your vision, your television. They're telling you the lies, which feeds into your subconscious mind, and ultimately becomes what? Conscious. That's why they have movies, they have music, and they say things. Hey, we're talking about it. How they show you these things in movies, and then years down the line, these actual things are happening. What do you think that's all about? It's called predictive programming, man. You see, that's what Esau is all about. So that's how we know the things that they're trying to do. Like the quote that I kept bringing up, and I said earlier, you was like unfortunate, going into how if you once you know and understand the nature of the hidden hand, current events, world events fall into place perfectly. You see, because we know, all right, we know the secrets of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, and He's told us how things are going to play out at the end. So regardless if it's the power that Esau has or not, it's ultimately the Most High who's doing it. Right. So once you know the playbook of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, you know the playbook of Esau. So you prepare for that. You see, that's why it's like we're in two completely different worlds. Those who know the truth and those who don't know the truth. It's almost like, damn, like it's so obvious to us, but to them it's so not obvious. Like it's completely opposite. You might have like yeah, and then once you solve it, you're like, damn, how did I not get it this whole time? But somebody you would have never gotten it. Wondering how to do it. You're like, yo, who knows the I don't know the freaking the Fibonacci sequence of numbers, keep nothing up for me. Then they say it's 3 seconds, boom. And you think, wait, you don't even, and when you understand it, now you understand it so quick. And for sure, you know, somebody's rapping, this rap is hard. When you learn it, it's like, oh, this is simple. Because you got it. You can bring this one out. Just like that. It says, let them bring forth and show us what shall happen. Let them show the former things what they be, that we may consider them and know the latter end of them, and declare us things for to come. And declare us things for to come. And there's another scripture where the Lord says, He declares the end from the beginning. Oh, you got it? Okay. So now, what does that tell us? That tells us that whatever Esau's going to do, hey, look, Esau himself, right? These politicians and lawmakers, they might not have thought in the back of their mind from the beginning we want to develop a chip to control everybody. Their goal was to control everybody, but the Lord already saw that in that goal, the final way that they're going to be able to do that, the conclusion they're going to reach is let's microchip everybody. So that's why He said, look, there's going to come a time where they're going to do this. Some of them might not even know when they started off. All they know is we want world domination. But I'm telling you that when they reach world domination, this is what it looks like. So look out for this. And then guess what? Eventually, they're going to come to it. We're telling them, look, you're going to develop a thing that you're going to use to control everybody. They say, well, now that you know this, why are we doing it? But then as they're going through it, they're like, all right, we need something that controls the money. Money talks. Restrictions, all this, that, and the third. How do we put that all into one system? And then they realize that that's exactly what they told we're going to do. Because even though we try not to do it, the only solution is this. You cannot escape prophecy. It's prophecy is what you've already done. It's just in the future timeline. Right. Yeah.
First Corinthians 2:11. Least Satan should get an advantage of us. We are not ignorant of his devices.
Hey, I'll say this. If somebody would tell you, like if they wanted to race, but you already knew the destination, you're chasing somebody, and you already know where they're gonna go, this person thinks you on their tail. So he might take you around the corner, he might take you to some neighborhood area just so he can come right back to the script. But here it is, you ain't even chasing him. You went straight to the script. He's standing there waiting. So he wasted his gas, he wasted energy. I think he's gone. You open the door, he's sitting right there waiting.
Like how Jason be popping.
Looking through the window and shit. You know, the scene where you was going on the swing, he was having a tea party, and he was looking out the window waiting for her. You're like, where you gonna go? Look, I don't need to catch up with you. I didn't even get you. I'm catch you. And he always walking. That's the shit. Because you know what I'm saying? You can run, but you can't hide. If I know where you are, you can run as fast as you can. I don't need to run. But eventually you're gonna get tired. And guess what? I'm gonna be right there waiting for you. You know? So that's what the Lord got us like. We're right at the end goal waiting for Esau. And he's gonna pull up, but guess what? We've been here for a minute. So we're preparing. We know what to do, we know what traps to set, we know what mindset to be in because we know where you're gonna end up. The other people don't. So they're gonna be caught up chasing you, and they get caught in the trap. All right, but we're not. That's why the scripture said, "Lest Satan should get an advantage of us." But we're not ignorant of your devices. And one of your major devices is that thing. First this thing, then it's that thing. All right.
One of his devices is what? Deceit. That's really Esau's MO. Deception. That's how he's able to live, by deceiving people. Yo, he deceived people to actually think that wearing a mask outside while you're healthy is actually good for you. And that's not even backed by any science. And then the same guy who keeps saying these things comes around and he get caught up in his emails. And now they say, oh, the so-called conspiracy theorists, you're gonna have to apologize to them because they were right when they were calling you out. So what's happening? Rat face, Fauci. What's happening, bro? Then what's happening is this. What's the difference between a conspiracy theory and reality? 6 months. Because we say it and then 6 months later it happens.
6 months to a year.
6 months to a year it happens. So the thing is, like you were saying, cognitive dissonance, they don't want to accept what we're saying as true. Because
they gotta call us crazy.
Yes. They have to call us crazy because if what these guys are saying is true, they've said a lot of terrible things that's going to be happening to us. So if they're saying what they're saying is true, that means that we're going to be in a terrible case. So no, we should do everything in our power to stop them from saying what they're saying. See, that's what you're fucked up at. Because you think by us saying it, it's happening. No, we're giving you a warning as to what's coming. So really, you should be appreciative of what's being seen. Like, damn, Father Duarte, you gave us signs, you gave us warning. Do these men.
So in their mind, we stop them from saying it. We stop them from speaking it as right. And we stop them.
Right. Right.
But what if you didn't believe? There you go. See, here's the thing, right? Usually you thank somebody that warned you. But then again, there's that you go to the doctor and they tell you got cancer, you're gonna die in 3 months. That's not a warning you want to hear, right? So you'd rather stop saying that. I don't want to hear that. Because if they're warning you of something that you can't change, then you'd rather accept that they didn't even say it at all. Stop saying it doesn't exist. Like exactly, like you said with cognitive dissonance, I need to be consistent with my beliefs. I don't believe that I'm going into slavery. But if you're just saying the truth, and I'm like, all right, well, I don't believe it, but he's bringing true facts, then I need to try to do something so I can stick with my beliefs. So I'm saying, no, you're crazy. And if you're crazy, then what you're saying cannot be true. And if what you're saying is not true, then I'm fine. That ain't gonna work though, because what you believe and reality are two different things. Reality does not get altered by what you believe. This ain't a fairy tale. They try to make it seem, well, these God, right? Santa Claus, you believe in me and I'm real. If you don't believe in me, then I'll stop fading away. If you don't believe in me, the most high, like, you don't believe me, I'm gonna kill you. Then you gonna know I'm real either way. If you gonna be up, you gonna see me, nigga. You wanna know if I'm real? All right, come here. You know, hey, people think like you think that the Most High needs people. The Most High doesn't need people. He could be nobody. Even if nobody believed in the Most High, the scripture says he could raise up stones. He was there. Thank you. He ain't a God that needs you. Oh, well, if God is evil, then I wouldn't want to believe in a God that's evil. Hold up. Wait, time out. You determine the kind of God that exists. No. You got to twist it, my man. Because, hey, like Kobe Bryant's wife talking about she ain't forgive the Most High. What happened to Kobe? You ain't forgive the Most High. What happened to Kobe? As if the Most High needs your forgiveness. How do you forgive somebody? Man.
I mean, and it's not even a personal attack. It's just how they wired. You know what I'm saying? Like the Lord wired them a certain way. They're not logical beings. Sarah lied to the angel face that she was righteous. It's, when she was like, "No, I didn't laugh." Was that? Rachel was right. Yeah. So and also Sarah. No, it was Rebecca. When she even though it was the Lord's will, she put the fur. She went against her husband, put fur on Jacob, so he could get because she favored Jacob, so he could get the blessing from Esau. Came up with the plan. Yeah, she came up with the plan. Even though it was the plan, she'll tell you how these fucking women, and these are righteous, spiritual, righteous women. Yeah, so like these are righteous sisters doing fuck shit, but these women are designed and wired a certain way to you really can't even really just get mad at them. You get mad at yourself for falling for the okie doke. But the Lord, like, nah. Listen, I deal with y'all, and y'all deal with them. Because y'all want me to deal with them. Y'all won't have no ass down here, because he be like, set the whole Eve population.
Imagine it was Miriam instead of Moses. That's what he would have stayed in Egypt. Matter of fact, the Lord would have destroyed the whole earth because he ain't dealing with that. Miriam?
Till I wipe out the Philistines. When he told Saul to do with Amalek. Come on, God, everybody. What about the baby? You're supposed to be God. You're supposed to be God. You're doing that. That ain't even right. How you the Most High talking about kill everybody? The babies too? The Most High like, man, they supposed to you know what I'm saying? So he like, listen, I deal with men because he wired us a certain way. And y'all deal with the women because they hey man.
The head of the woman is the man. Now, see, imagine if the Lord told Sarah, go sacrifice Isaac. Well, hold up. What did Job's wife say to Job? And she wasn't even the one catching the boils and shit. And she said, yo, curse your God and die. He said, then what? You're speaking like the foolish woman. So you think if the Most High, first off, if Abraham told Sarah, oh, I didn't do it. But I was gonna sacrifice. Hear me out. I was gonna sacrifice him because she didn't even gonna let the second he said sacrifice, and she sees her son, and she sees him. Back and shit, she taking some shit, and she about to pack him. Yeah, that's a fact. That's a tickle. Yo.
She was a straight off, bro.
That's why even part of the strongest men, they always come back home to the woman, and it's always like, yo, you could be the most brolic dude, gangster dude. Yo, my wife came home tonight. I can't hang out with y'all niggas today, bro. Oh, what happened? Yeah, like, what happened, bro? My wife came home today, bro. Why do you think that is? Because you could be the strongest man in the world. The woman, there's something about the woman that just brings that soft, yeah, like, you know, you don't want to do that. You don't want to get it, you know? So it's like, you know, hey, but hey, I got a quick reason. Oh, you want to say something? I mean, I was basically going to say, like, she's out of line.
She's out of line because, like, when you read Job, the 33rd chapter, and we was talking to Job, and how he was boasting about how righteous he was and how the Most High should come down and explain himself. You know, Elihu basically told him that, look, the breath in your body and your flesh, that strength that you have to be righteous, to do good, right? The money that you have to give to be righteous, the Most High gave that to you. So what are you actually boasting about? So that's what I'm thinking. Like, you know, if a righteous man can't even boast about his righteousness, you know, what is this woman, this wicked ass woman out here who don't even like tell her to quote 10 scriptures? This bitch can't even do it. You know, she over here trying to talk down to the Most High, like, she's way out of line, man. Like the elder said, man, the Most High would have killed all of them if he was dealing with them directly, man. Praise.
Women feed off the vibration of the power that's in place. So right now, women's opinions is mostly wicked shit. Everything they say that they desire to do is mostly wicked, unless the Lord puts the spirit on them for them to get into the truth and meet a man of the Lord and feed off the vibration of that man. All right, but other than that, these women are all bugged out. They don't know what the hell they're talking about, man.
A woman is a small canoe flowing on a great lake, and a man is her anchor. So, like, if she's not grounded by her father or like a strong father figure, they gone. They like canoe on that lake that just flow anywhere. You know what I'm saying? In all types of directions. So it's an anchor her when she's staying in a certain environment without doing whatever.
And parents, when they see a man of the Lord with their daughters, they're mad chill. Yo, they like, I'm like, you can tell them. She's like, yo, ever since I met you, my mom doesn't put me out. Like, she doesn't bother me. It's almost like she feels at ease when you're around. And when you're not there, she's questioning you. Where's he? Like, he better be there, that kind of thing. You see, when they're about to go out, and I say, oh, I don't feel like going out today, she gets mad. Because she's like, I need you there. Like, if you're there, I feel more safe. In case something happens to the car, I know you're going to be able to take out the tire, fix it, whatever. If somebody want to act funny, you'll be there to protect, you know. So they like shit like that. Plus, the wisdom. They see, oh, yo, my daughter's different now. She's not doing all this party, and shit. That's causing me stress. Like, damn, where's my daughter? She's anchored with this guy, and you can see the life she's living. Yo, so they start to have respect for you. Whatever it is that you got to say, it's like, damn, you on point. Let me see.
Rock 7 and 24.
Oh, Shalom.
Yeah, boom, right?
And anytime she's come around, go gets like a fucking cat. She gets scared.
Oh, Gigi.
And even Vegeta, as strong as Vegeta, and you know Vegeta's the hard one. Bulma pretty much shuts up Vegeta.
Yeah.
Because you know, I'm the prince of all Satan. Go back, shut up, nigga. Power, because Esau's their power so they could form. But the apostles say that all the time. Even if you check it out, Clark Kent was Superman, and Spider-Man was Peter Parker. Clark Kent and Peter Parker, ladies didn't love them because they was average working men. But if you check out Batman, which is Bruce Wayne, and you check out Iron Man, they was already loved before they were superheroes because they had money. They was and it shows you the nature of like cartoon superheroes. Clark Kent and Spider-Man was in love until they became like superheroes. In their regular lives, they walk, Lois Lane walk right past them. You know what I'm saying? But Batman and Iron Man, they had all the bitches. You know what I'm saying? Just showing you what the nature of actually what the brother dealing with. That's why arranged marriages always work. Because a woman didn't have the wisdom to decipher or to pick and choose who a man was. You know what I'm saying? And they didn't have the discernment to do that. But a man can always see and look through another man and see like what he and it's good to tell women like, listen, two men that you should take advice from mainly is your father or your brother, because they're not trying to fuck you. So they're gonna tell you shit that's of substance. You know, men tell them anything to get in their drawers. They play the game. But your father and your brother not trying to hit it. So when you ask them as advice, they're gonna keep it real with you. If you don't want to take it, you know, chicks, I don't want to hear what you say. Well, ask your father, ask your brother. They're gonna tell you the real deal. But read that.
It's the book of Ecclesiasticus, or the book of Sirach, chapter 7, Salakia, chapter 7, verse 24. It says, "Hast thou daughters, have a care of their body, and shew not thyself cheerful toward them. Marry thy daughter, and so shalt thou have performed a weighty matter, but give her to a man of understanding."
That's what the peace coming. Give her to a man of understanding. Because it's like, all right, she's good with him. Because daughters, you worry about them more than sons. But if you slide her under good protection, it's like, yo, as long as she with this dude, she's good. She's good. You know, and stress come off your shoulders. You ain't gotta worry about, oh, she's out doing this, she's out doing this. It's like, yo, she's under his umbrella. She's under his leadership and guidance. I'm good. I don't have nothing to worry about. I could go to my grave in peace. You know how many parents die going to their grave because they worried about if they die and go, what danger or turmoil their kids are going, because they had to like watch over them, bail them out of jail, get them out of situations while they was alive, and now they on their deathbed. They stress the fuck out on their deathbed, worried about what conditions their sons and daughters will be left in now that they're gone.
And I was going to make another quick point. All right, going back to the why the women, you know, were in this truth, or I guess listen to brothers who might have a man of the Lord. The reason why they listen to what we have to say is because we speak from a power perspective. All of us over here, once we get into this truth, you have that rulership mentality. See, so we're giving you things that's going to happen in the future, and everything that's going to happen in the future pertains to the power of Israel. So if you're a woman, you know, in this world, whatever, you might want to get with LeBron or Jay-Z. You know, these niggas that already got money and fame. But then when you're thinking about the future, we're telling you, yo, we're going to be kings on this earth. Everything we're telling you trumps all the power that's here on this earth. So she's thinking about that like, damn, if I'm in good case with this guy, and whatever he's saying it like he believes it. Like there's a thing where it's not a if, but it's a when, a matter of time. That means if I'm underneath this guy, all the promises telling me, yo, you're gonna have this mansion here, this. Like, I'm like, damn, mansion. I can't marry no nigga over here that's gonna give me mansions. I can't marry no nigga over here that's gonna give me everything I've ever wished for. But this guy is saying all these things. He believes it. Like, he actually believes it. So the Lord puts the Spirit on them to believe how we believe it.
Like you said, Yahweh shall be in the image of Yahweh. And when you go into that image, it means like likeness of light. So your woman is made like in the image of you. She take on the likeness of you. She become like a reflection of you. And once you become a reflection of you, you have children. She's the first teacher of your children. And since she's a reflection of you, she raised your children in the light and the reflection of you. See, these women don't understand, like, yo, how come my dude don't take on to me? Because, listen, if we in this truth, and we hate this world, and you a reflection, an image of this world, how could I love you? You know what I'm saying? Or at least to the extent you expect me to. Now, if I love myself and you are a reflection or in the image of me, and I love myself, it's easy for me to love you. And if you raise my children in the image and light of you, which is the image and light of me, which is the image and light of your house, which is the image and light of your house, we all one big fucking happy family. But these women wonder, like, yo, you're not on my team. The way you dress, the way you talk, the way you fucking behave, the shit you eat. I hate you are in the image of this world. Something I speak against, something I fight against every day. So how can I truly love you? I can't. Then your children just love them as they develop and get older. But as they get older and reach a certain age and become of this world and maybe turn into homos or lesbos, you even resent them and cut them off.
It says, ye adulterers and adulteresses, know ye not that the flesh of the world is enmity with God? Whosoever therefore be friends of the world is enemy of God. Right, this is James chapter 4, starting from verse 4. Ye adulterers and adulteresses, know ye not that the friendship of the world is enmity with God, right? Whosoever therefore will be a friend of the world is the enemy of God. You don't love each other. That's why you're enemies, right? So if you love the world, you're an enemy of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. And if you're an enemy of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, there's a book of Psalms chapter 139, verse 21. Do not I hate them, O Lord Yahweh, that hate thee? And am I not it says, and am I not am not I grieved with those that rise up against thee? I hate them with perfect hatred. I count them mine enemies. See that? So the enemies of the Lord are our enemies. And if you're in love with the world, then you're an enemy of the Lord. So like the elder was saying, how can we love you if you are an enemy of our power and we hate all enemies of our power? You see how that contradiction is? Now, unless you conform, because at one point we used to be enemies of the Lord, you know, outwardly, of course, the elect were still beloved, but in terms of our actions, yeah. And the Lord, what? Romans 12:2. Our minds were renewed, transformed. They changed forms from the ways of this world to the ways of righteousness. And therefore, what? Now we were able to, you know, the Lord loved us, Yahweh Shai, so on and so forth. So unless your woman, she's conformed to you, because you're going to be the image of Yahweh Shai with the image of Yahweh, okay? When she does that, she's no longer an enemy. She's like the elder said, she's no longer.
And these chicks wonder why dudes nobody takes them serious. You gotta get now. Don't get with the wrong man, because most of y'all gonna be the street. But in the men of the Lord, you gotta get with the men of the Lord program, and they gotta see you as a team player. Or otherwise, they're not gonna take you serious. Other than that, you're inviting an opposing plus in your life.
Yeah. So hey, and here's the thing too. Like the brother was saying, you hear all these benefits that are to come, but even right now, just dealing with somebody that gives you sound reasoning. When we speak, right, we're not speaking. If you're a woman, we're speaking from a perspective of giving you a solution, right? We think spiritually. We give you sound advice. Now, we might be stern or what's the word I'm looking for? Strict authoritative about certain things, bitter, austere, but that's for a good reason. Why do you think Yahweh Shai was so austere on his disciples? So that they could become appropriate apostles. Okay, so that they can have the discipline, and that's why. What did they say? They said they took knowledge amongst themselves that these men have been with Yahweh Shai, because that austerity had put them in a certain zone. So you can tell when a woman has been with a man of the Lord because of her lifestyle, and that's why Paul said that the unbelieving wife is sanctified by the husband, and vice versa. Because what knoweth thou, O man, whether thou shalt save thy wife, or vice versa? Because she'll see you, and just the way a woman works, she's like the water that takes the shape of the object that she's put in. So if you are a certain, like a blank this, and so if you are a certain kind of way, even if she's against it, over time, she takes your spirit. It doesn't work the other way around. We give off our energy, and they consume the energy around them. So if she's around negative energy, she's gonna be a hoe. But if she's around positive energy, why do you think when she has a strict father, she comes out a certain kind of way? When she has any or no father, she comes out a certain kind of way, because it's the energy that's around her. So even if she says, "I don't want you people, I'm not with you," the fact that you are my man, I'm taking your energy. And eventually, I'm gonna find myself subconsciously start talking like you. Kodak said that. He said, "You keep hanging around me, you start talking like me." They prove that they become certain things you say. When you're not around, guess what? That pops into their head. So it's all the spirit. That's why the Lord says she's sanctified through you.
You can have a chick, from the church, and she wanted to have long practice. And all she did was go on the beach and listen to her radio. Now, she could meet a dude, right? Say she 18, 19. All she did was go on some plain girl. She could meet a dude that's a gangbanger, say he a prick. She meet him, deal with him for 2 years, break up with him. By the time you get her, she got like his imprint with her. Like, you'll notice shit about her, like, yo, I like Snoop. She's like, yo, why you in love with Snoop Dogg? You might not notice.
Oh yeah. No, it's the same one.
I don't know. It could be, but it looked like the bottom part she was lighting up. Yeah. Yeah. See now. Yeah. Hey. Could be, man. Could be. We in the summertime, so they're showing themselves more and more anyway.
But nah, like I was saying, the imprint. The imprint is she could be a plain beach girl, right? But she could meet a dude that's a gangbanger, let's say a Crip, right? You're like, yo, why this chick listen to Snoop Dogg all day? Why she listen to Dub C all day? Why she wear all this blue? And you really might not think nothing of it, but really she been imprinted by the previous man that left that mark and that stain on her. So by the time you get her, you just think it's just something she like, but she has been influenced, and that's why they say a woman is a blank disc. And as she get with every man as she goes on, she's downloading their information onto a hard drive, and we know what happened with a hard drive is bombarded with a whole bunch of information and shit, and having shit crash.
No, he can't fall in love with you. I met a girl like that before. And she told me straight up, yo, I can't fall in love. Like, everybody, yeah, she can't fall in love. Because her love is the feeling of being in love. Like, what's called good, all beautiful, what's here. This guy is a different energy. He's different ideology, different way of living, different things that he likes to do. She's exposed to different energy. That's all she cares about. She gets bored, she's chasing a high. Right. Once she's bored,
Peer bonding. Because peer bonding come in 3 forms. You got virginity, where all of the oxytocin is released and all that. That's one. Then you got events. So say you meet a woman, right, and she been everywhere. She been to Jamaica. She fucked on the beaches of DR. She did all kinds of shit. She been on motorcycle. So when you get her and try to do shit with her, she already done those things. See, the good thing about, that's why the Lord said, let the younger woman marry and bear children and God the house. See, with the younger woman, they haven't gotten all of these different experiences. So you like, hey, you have to put on the back of a motorcycle now, and you put her on the back and ride. She bond that experience to you. You know, you put it, hey, you ever jumped out of a fucking, you ever been skydiving? No, I've never been skydiving. You take a skydiving. Oh, you ever had, you like salmon? Bring you some of the hell with salmon. So she eat her taste buds. Your face is glued to all of these new experiences. And that make her love you for bad enough, not bad enough, good enough. You already took her. It's called a triple pair bond that completely bonds a woman to her virginity. Neurons, oxytocin, everything is released through her virginity, and she bonds to events. You take her, she never seen crystal clear blue water. You take her on a vacation somewhere. And all these things, your face is bonded. You take her to Niagara Falls. Your face is bonded to all of these events. And the third way to pair bond is through a baby. So you took her virginity, you took her through all these different experiences, and third, you gave her a baby. Because a baby is like a thing that changes a woman. Her body changes. That's like one of the biggest gifts you can give her. So your baby, your seed, your DNA, deoxyribonucleic, the master God of your light is totally inside of her. And you give her a baby, she puts the baby out, you hold in her hand, push, baby, push, you got it, and your face is there, and she gets mesmerized. These women, their virginity gets snatched by other men. They've been through all, you try to take her to DR, I've been there. You try to put her on the back of the motorcycle, I've been there. Try to put her on a fishing boat, I've been there. Try to take her to the BBQs, I've been there. Try to take her to this restaurant over here, I've been there. Try to take her to Atlantic City, she's been there. You know what I'm saying? So anytime you try to make a moment with her, it's not special because she done it before. Then the only hope with these chicks now is like if you didn't get your warm up. Because it's like my last hope of being bonded to you if you didn't have a baby. That's why it's like, yo, your virginity gone, you had all these different experiences with other men, and you had a baby, it's done, it's over, it's game over.
And then
I mean, repentance is always, it's always exception to every rule. But I'm just saying, repentance is always good. So sister could repent. Man tends to take a serious fine. And for me, like, those three things, it's like, yo, you've been around, you've virginity going, you've been around the block. I can't do nothing special with you because you did everything on a damn, you know how these women travel and do things every week. They explored the whole fucking town and the next town and that island and this island. So it's like, yo, there's nothing I can do to impress you. That's why when you take them on dates, they kind of like, yo, where we going? Impress me. Do something you got to surprise me. You know, like, but you did everything in the fucking town.
You can't even talk to me. When you start talking to her, she's gonna link that to an experience. I was just about to say that when you take her out, she's gonna be thinking of the first dude that took her out to the same place. Because so you're looking at her, she's looking at the other dude while looking at you. You know, and you always like, watch the smile and look at you. You know? So and then it makes her ex. And the next thing you know, you got a relationship problem. She's talking to her ex. Right, she don't complete to this shit. Hey, a lot of these women are so bad now to the point where when you meet a new chick for the first time and you start talking to her, their energy is so aggressive, you gotta pull back and be like, wait a minute, I'm supposed to be attacking you. You see, they'll be like, you want to hit it raw? I'm like, I just started talking to you. Yeah, because I was thinking a lot. Like, you be like, wait, I'm supposed to be predator, not the prey. It's like, calm down. She be like, oh, like asking questions. You just be like, wait a minute, like you making me think like I'm not. Now I'm saying, oh hell, don't worry about it. We're going through all these things, like, because I'm here thinking, what the fuck have you done? Like, you about to make me bring out everything out the playbook.
Man, you think you're just making a phone with these bitches out here like I've been here 22 times, man.
You know,
And this nigga think he's doing something.
Right. You know, they talk about, oh, I need to, the shit they say oh, I need you to just tie me down, pull me to the wall, do this. And I'm like, I don't think I'm supposed to do it. Really. Like, I mean, what the, you know? And they say shit like, oh, you want to hit it from the back, you want to go raw, like, are you freaky on my level? Like, and you're like, wait a minute, like, how many niggas have you said this shit to?
Going to WrestleMania.
Right, WrestleMania, like, yeah. You know, Armageddon, like, you scared. Like, you like, now you start hesitating. Oh, man, this bitch invited me over. She's on, oh, daddy, talking, calling you babe. I just start talking. I don't even know you. You don't even know my name. Why are you calling me all these things, man? Because they don't care. They just want the pleasure, that feel. And then once it's done, it's done. Some of them to the point, they're like, yo, I just want to be, FB, friends with benefits. FWB, that's it. Let's just hit and that's it. You're like, damn, bro. You know? Huh?
He said, I would therefore that the younger woman marry their children and guard the house. Yeah, first Timothy 5 and 14. And the Lord said, what? The younger woman. Because when you deal with a woman in her youth, she's more malleable. Malleable means like bendable and easy to bend and conform, man. When you deal with an older woman, for the most part, they more stuck in their ways, and don't get me wrong, some young women got big body counts, but when you're dealing with a woman in her youth, in her teens and 20s, she's more like conformable because she haven't been fully indoctrinated with the ways of this world. It's there, but she's quite, oh, for real? I never thought that. But an older woman would straight up fight you. Well, nah, that don't even come over here with, you know what I'm saying, when you dealing, because from like, when they get their flower all the way to about 30, they hit that wall, that's game over. That's game over. But the Lord said, I will have therefore that the younger woman marry, build children, and guard the house. But what these younger women do, they take their youth, beauty, and their fertility, and they monetize it. And by the time they get old, they want a man to take them serious. Nah, you're supposed to lock a husband down in your youth. You don't wait till you get old. See, society lied to these women. He saw the devil. He told them their careers don't matter. He told them, their careers matter. They can put off marriage and they can put off having children. And that's not the case because the Most High gave these women the time for all that beauty you got paid. You're supposed to use that shit like a lottery ticket and cash in. What Sharada Ali, she said an ill point. She said Edomites go to she said white women go to college to find them, but black women go to college to feed them. She's like, I was like, that's a real shit because Edomites out. They get small, but they get married like 22, 23, 24. The Israelites will be like, no, we playing and having fun. And when they turn like 35, they're like, yo, my ex-girl like 38 talking about so she went, she looking to get married at 38. She looking to get married and looking to have a children of 4. Huh? I'm like, what is you fucking bugging? This was the last time I talked to her because I let the truth out. I'm like, yo, hey, you fucking serious? I'm like, hold up, you're 40 years old, 38. She said, I'm looking to be married in the next 2 years, and I'm looking to have at least, I'm looking to at least have 1 children. But what? You gave this society lied to Eve and said what? It's all about your career. They treated their career, their youthful years to work a job. And they tell you, look, you can put off marriage and you can put off children. And you can't do that shit from 15. I would say from your puberty, but in this society, you can't do it to 18. But according to the law, from like 13, 14, when you get your puberty to about 25, you got 10 years to cash in. You got 10 years to cash in your puberty ticket and lock down the they monetize it. And then that shit thing, they want somebody to take it serious. It don't fucking work like that, man.
Oh, that's a video. That the other brother I was
Yeah.
Some of them are in jail. A lot of them are sodomites. So the rest of them are just real life people. You know, and they got all these people for real. A lot of them are playing games. You see now, and the vibration is turning good. A lot of people up on there like, I don't want to be a part of that shit. I want to be part of like some real shit. I want to be around a man who knows what he's talking about. Spiritual stuff. Things that actually matter. Things that, this guy knows what he's talking about. That shit is attractive to women now. I've been talking to some women lately, and then when they find out that what I'm saying is not worldly, it's like, yo, this guy got some explanations to some shit that I've never really understood. Then it's like, now the texting becomes more. Now the reply becomes quicker. Now the questions become a little bit more in depth. Now the questions are like more personal. Like, I want to get to know you. You see? And it's like, well, what happened? I thought you was about that thug nigga shit, whatever. No, they're not into that stuff anymore, man. You see, so the lady was saying, look, a lot of these men, a lot of them are in jail, some of them are sodomites. So the rest of the men, the real men who are gonna end up being 144,000, imagine that, 7.8 billion people on this planet Earth. You happen to be part of that 144,000 number. You know how scriptures say it. That's precious. So these women know that. And they're going, what? They're going to come after men. That's why the lady said, look, don't think, oh, sis, that's your whole, no, sis, we sharing. That's our nigga, not your nigga, our nigga. What you talking about? So
because a lot of women, a lot of women got sexual frustration, right? Because they not getting plunged like it smashed like back in the 90s when you had like the average dude had like 3 girlfriends and 4 side pieces, and you popped 3 chicks at the club last night. When you had that masculine, DMX, Nas era type, thug type, Tupac shit, energy going on when Jake was like more rough. Now you got with these millennials, you know what I'm saying, with these Gen Zs around and these millennials and this new generation developing, the LGBTQ and all this homo shit that's popping up and about. These women are not, you even got women that's losing their husbands and they've been to other men. I mean, that's happening a lot now. Like, chicks finding out, like, yo, you fucking around on me? And she thinking it's another chick, but when she really dig into it, he's bouncing around on her with another dude. So you got a lot of these women, they not getting sexually pleased like they was before. So when they really see a solid, real solid dude, it's like, yo, fuck, polygyny sinks in. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, look, either we be single, like if we don't get the scriptures that Isaiah 4:1 to take away our reproach. Either we be single, see, the traditionalism will come back, but it's not going to be by choice. They're going to be forced in the corner to do that. And nobody practice monogamy. Really, everybody, all relationships now is polygyny or polyandrous relationship. And that's when, like, you in the open relationship, like people do swingers and shit like that. Because the real definition of monogamy is a person that stays married to one person a whole life. That's monogamy. Matter of fact, could you pull it up on Wikipedia? Monogamy definition. Because it's 2 definitions. Esau flipping and saying monogamy is dating one person at a time. That's bullshit. That's not monogamy. Monogamy is when you stay married to one person your whole life. So this world don't practice, especially westernized societies, do not practice monogamy. Men are not built to be monogamous. That's why when they get married, they got to swear into it, into monogamy. And then when you suppress that urge for the Most High gave you to reproduce and recreate, you wind up watching a lot of porn. You wind up getting a lust demon. You wind up going to strip clubs because you suppressing the animal inside you to procreate. For most part, women are built for monogamy. The only person that's real wired to be monogamous is women. But if you had more than one relationship out your whole life, you are not monogamous. You got that?
Yeah. Monogamy is just the practice or state of being married to one person at a time.
That's the bullshit definition. The real definition is you stay married to this one person your whole life. Soon as you have multiple relationships, that's polygyny or that's polyamory. That doesn't fall under monogamy. And you don't get 7 billion people on the earth with monogamy.
There's monogamy. It says monogamy is a form of dyadic relationship in which an individual has only one partner during their lifetime.
There you go. That's the true definition. Now read the bullshit definition. It's gonna say
All right. Well,
alternatively.
oh shit.
It's gonna say it right under it.
Alternatively, only one partner at one time is serial monogamy, as compared to
That's not easy, but you get the point. But really, monogamy is staying married to one person your whole life. Nobody practiced that. So really behind, on paper it sounds good. On paper it looks good. Socially it looks good. But everybody is polyamorous and everybody is polygynous. But it's more hidden behind scenes. But the Lord is going to bring it to the forefront. This is a quick precept, Isaiah 13 and 12. I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man in a golden wedge of Ophir.
Like what you said, it says practice of marrying only once in a lifetime. It says from Greek monogamia, single marriage. All right, marrying only once. Okay,
So the woman is supposed to be monogamous.
yeah,
Right.
yeah. It says a condition of being married to only one person at a time, or in this case, in a lifetime. So, like you said,
But these women had the nerve to say if you practice monogamy, bitch, you don't practice monogamy because they don't know the true definition of monogamy. Maybe your great grandmother from fucking 1920 practiced monogamy. People don't practice monogamy. They are not wired to be monogamous, so that don't even apply to us. But you women, y'all don't practice monogamy, but got the nerve to ask us, are we monogamous? But you're not even monogamous. How many boyfriends you had? As soon as you leave that one dude you had and dated somebody else, monogamy is dead. You can no longer say you monogamous.
but like to a testimony that you said, like how men are leaving their women for other men. There was this guy on YouTube, where he not only left his woman, but he became like a transformer.
Wow.
But just so and then he left his kid, he left his wife and everything because he's bugged out, man. He's bugged out his wife. So now he's a Decepticon walking around telling people that he wanna sleep with men. You know, it's kind of crazy. You know, so confused. Lord gave them up to all the yeah. No, yeah.
Hold on. He left this woman, turned to a transformer to become a woman, to sleep with men.
You became a hoe. Yeah. Oh shit. So you became a woman to practice woman. Oh, in this world, only the women are allowed to do what he's supposed to do. Yeah. So if I'm throwing a hoe out there, there's another video that I saw. There was another transformer. All right. And what you Decepticon? Decepticon. Yeah. And it was a dude who turned into a woman, a creature. And then I seen it, and the moment I seen it, I'm like, yo, that's a woman. But then the voice sounds like a man. I'm like, yeah, she got a deep ass voice. That might be a nigga. So let me just watch. So I'm watching. It goes like, oh. You see the problem with us being, tranny, blah, blah, blah. You go to the airport. She said, I was at the airport, and then the scanner. She said she passed through the scanner, and they said something was in between her legs. So they're thinking, oh, it's probably a weapon. So then the lady asked her, yo, you can't pass through here. She's like, oh, I'm a woman though. He said, okay, so you want to go to the woman, the man detector because you just noticed that you got a penis between your legs. He said, all right, cool. So she went through the man part, and then the titties, start to alarm because it has silicone in it. So it's a foreign substance. So it alarmed the thing. They were like, oh, what? So then they asked her, him, it, they, who? They asked, yo, what do you want us to do? We gotta pat you down. Do you want a man to pat you down? And they said, what the fuck you mean a man to pat me down? I'm a woman. He said, but the machine says you're a man. Like, we never do it. Like, I said, no, what? You know what I'm saying? You go to the woman detective, you got a penis between your legs. You go to the man detective, you got titties. What the fuck do we do?
You see the confusion, and then that creature is blaming them and saying, "Y'all gotta figure some shit out because this is discrimination against me." My nigga, come on.
Did you see that? The transformer racing?
Yeah, that's what we saw all over the weekend. We saw a transformer race against other females. You can spot it out from a mile away. All the other women are small, look like Mickey Mouse. This transformer looks like the Hulk, and it stands ready to go.
Oh no.
I think the brother's gonna pull up.
Oh
when he
no.
left, or it left, when it ran, it was. Yeah, I was gonna pull it up. It left the other women in the dust. It wasn't even fair.
For YouTube, y'all gotta just bear with me. It's kind of impromptu.
In the comment section right now. Oh, I gotta forget the link.
Check this shit out. Check this shit out, dog.
Damn.
Look, they feel defeated already. Look, watch this shit.
Why am I in the link?
Watch this shit. Watch. Yo.
Block it, send me that link. I'm gonna put it in the comment section in the chat room.
One more time. Look. Sweet. Wow. It's this thing.
Let's go, man. See, and knock the chick out one knee to the face. I'm fine, though.
A lot of people are complaining about that, man. They say, yo, you cannot be allowing these trannies to be put in these athletic competitions because
So if they do that, they can get sued by the Discrimination Act.
see now you can identify as whatever you want. Ain't that stupid? Ain't that confusing, man? You could be a man and say, oh, I identify as a woman, and you can pass. Like what? And they'll say, oh, well, you identify. Yo, I did a video the other day. Demi Lovato, she said she doesn't identify as binary. She's non-binary, meaning either a man or a woman. Now they're what? She calls herself they, them. They, them. That's demons, bro. There's no explanation around that. That's demons. You're calling yourself plural. What the fuck is that? Scriptures talk about a legion.
This shit got bad,
Man, so hey, that's why the Lord is going to destroy this place. You see, we keep saying it, but we're showing you your actions are why the Lord's going to destroy. It's not because he wants to just, oh, yo, why is the Most High such a... No, you're causing him to be pissed, so he's going to do what he got to do, man. And that's what we're telling you. You see?
Well, they said
you could thank feminism for that because of what? Men and women are equal. See, men and women were equal when it only came beneficial when it came time for you paying the bill. But if somebody downstairs, you ain't gonna grab a gun and go sleep over there. You know what I'm saying? But men and women are not equal in that case. Men and women are equal only when it benefits them. Now you got these trainees look, they snatch you into scholarships. See, your daughter been racing, trying to get you training your daughter up to get a scholarship to get into this Ivy League school. But then you got this training fall into the girls' team and just snatch a scholarship. Then what happened to the sports team, the women's sports team? So now it's like, look, it's just like Jake. When Jake was outlawed on sports, certain teams was getting Negroes to play on their team and they was winning. So the other team like, yo, we got to get us some Negroes in order to compete with these things, or we're going to lose. You know, they winning because they got Jakes over there. So they started putting Jakes more in the league to compete against the other rival team. It's the same thing with the training. If he got a volleyball team, I got a volleyball team. You Florida, I'm New York. We playing each other. I'm getting trainees on my shit. My spirit like, listen, you don't stand a chance, motherfucker, because I'm about to get like these 6'6" trainees and Joe Bassett. So only way he can compete is he got to get trainees too.
Which shows you that, look, well, where Jeremiah chapter 51, starting from verse 15, it says, the Most High has made the earth by his power and has established the world by his wisdom. All right. So when nobody's gonna, if there's a time of war, right, and you need people for war, nobody's gonna get confused about a woman. Should I take this man or not? If he's of age, right, like 20 years old older, you're never gonna have that confliction. Should he come in or not? Unless he's sick, unless he's fit. You know he's a man. You know he's fit for war, right? But when it comes to these people's wisdom and the devices that men have created to contradict the Most High, there's always confusion. See, these people can't even decide on who should play sports. These people can't even decide. They can't even decide themselves. Like one day, men and women are equal. The next day, they're not. See, all confusion, which shows you that the Most High is wiser than men. He's most wise, right? And everything that he makes is supposed to stay the way it is, and let you know that Esau is not it's not as big as you think he is. Esau, you nothing. You don't have all that wisdom. You don't have all the answers. And then this alone, okay, proves that, like, by far, that when it comes to your mind and your mentality compared to the Most High, you fall short by a long shot, man. Like, it makes yourself mad, man. There's a lot of confusion. Just when the Lord and the angels created everything, it says they saw it and they said it was good. Right. It was tawab.
So if you're coming around changing things, leaving the natural use of a woman, right, burning in their lust one towards another, you're going off. And the Yahweh Bashim outside is going to destroy you. As a matter of fact, let's get a revelation, and then we're going to, start wrapping it up. This is why Yahweh Bashim outside is going to destroy this place. This is literally the height of wickedness, right? There's a conglomerate of all wickedness in different societies and different empires put together. Imagine what World War III is going to be like. What you going to have in the war? A bunch of Transformers, you're going to be looking at them in the war like, what the hell is this? Is this a man, a woman? It's going to be weird. There's a commercial. It was on RT where they showed Russia, and they showed their military, and they showed this dude from a youth. You know what I'm saying? He shaved his head, they bathe in cold water, they kicking each other on the ground, and they get back up and they kick them on the ground. You know what I'm saying? Training, fighting and shit. And then they show America's military, and it's a little girl, and she's like, I've always wanted to be in the military since I was 2. And then her family is like, oh, you can do shit. I think she got 2 moms or some shit. And she's like, finally I made it to the military and all this shit, to show you the comparison as to how in Russia, my man is from a youth wrestling bears and shit. And then you coming over here to America, and these are the people in your military. Little 2-year-old girl, cried shit, and then now she finally made it in. America, that's why America's liking onto a woman, man. You're about to get destroyed, man.
They got different trainings because they don't train the men the same way. If they're going to be the same round,
don't limit it or decrease it. Yeah.
Everybody's not clapping. Man, bitch, do that shit. Every man did that.
And that's going to ultimately soften up your military arsenal.
Of course.
Because women are not supposed to be on the battlefield. But when women appear on the battlefield, like the elder said years ago, the opponent, Russia's not looking at America and saying, oh man, we're going to war against women. They're saying, hey, what the fuck? Hey, say something over. Hey, you brought me some ass. You brought me a treat. It's time to work. Hey, everybody take 7, 8, 9, as many as you want, and let's work. The war is over. It's time to feast and destroy this deceased. All right, this is a book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 15, verse 5. It says, behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. Verse 6, for wickedness. Verse 6, it says, for wickedness hath exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. Okay, so like the brother was saying, the wickedness is at an all-time high, man. America, Babylon, the city of confusion, is going to be destroyed. All right, because scriptures tell you that the Father, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, is not an author of confusion, meaning he doesn't create confusion. Right? So if you're in a state of confusion, that means the Most High is not dead. And that means that's enmity to the Most High. That means destruction is coming down the pipe. Because if you're not doing the will of the Most High, you're doing wickedness, man. Because the Most High is righteous. You see? So if you're enmity to the Most High, that means you're doing wicked shit. You're going to be destroyed, man. Okay, so if it's saying here, for wickedness hath exceedingly
polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. That's why you have trannies. That's why you got men turning into women, Decepticons. Okay, you got men turning into women so they can get slapped up by men. You know, the confusion is out of control. You know, you got women now. Hey, they say now that children don't have to confide in their parents. They don't need consent. They can just switch their gender whenever they want. You see, why would you do that? Why would you give? What is that about, man? You see, shit like that frustrates you, man. But guess what? We're the wicked ones. We're crazy. We don't know what the hell we're talking about. We're hate speech grouped and so on and so forth.
Oh
man.
yeah, definitely.
Babylon have performed to fight. They have remained in their homes. They might have fell. They became as women, meaning like skin, but also that goes into how they became Decepticons, Transformers. They became as women, like literally. I mean, not just being afraid.
It's a book of Revelation, chapter 22, verse 11. It says, "He that is unjust, let him be unjust still."
Oh yeah,
It's a book of Revelation, chapter 22, verse 7. "Behold, I come quickly. Blessed is he that keepeth the sayings of the prophecy of this book."
right. So the Lord said He comes quickly. Blessed is he that keepeth the sayings of the prophecies of this book. So if you're not doing according to this book, you want to know what the book says, listen to what we're telling you. We're breaking it down. So if you're not following that and you want to be disobedient and you don't want to hear it, you're not going to be blessed. And instead, you're going to be cursed. Or you're going to be blessed with fire. Okay? Go ahead. Purge, yeah.
Verse 11. "He that is unjust, let him be unjust still."
Why? Because if they're unjust and they not be alike, they're going to stay unjust. Can a man bring a clean out of the unclean? All right. Who can make something straight that the Lord made crooked? Can a leopard change his spots?
It says, "And he which is filthy, let him be filthy still."
So if you're filthy, right, meaning you're not cleansed with this word, with this truth, then you're gonna remain filthy. Because if we try to warn you and you're still filthy, then we're gonna leave you that way.
It says, "And he that is righteous, let him be righteous
So
still."
if you're righteous, keep doing what you're doing. If you're doing the works that are pleasing to Yahweh Hashem Shai, keep doing that because you're gonna be blessed because you're keeping the words of the prophecies of this book.
"And he that is holy, let him be holy
So
still."
if you're separate from this world, Micah 2:10, all right, Romans 12:2, all right, you've changed and you put on the mind of Yahweh Shai, remain that way.
Verse 12. "And behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me, to give every man according as his work shall be."
And there you go, man. So you want to have fun now, right? Girls just want to have fun. You want to have fun with the Most High, Hashem Shai, and the angels and the Lord's elect are going to have fun. All right, at your expense. You know, while you're going through it, you're going to get that judgment, and that's going to be fun. Hey, what did really, right? When somebody's appeased, that's fun. And the scriptures talk about the spirits created for vengeance, who in their fury lay on sore strokes and appease the wrath of him that made them. So the Most High is going to be having fun, right? I will laugh at your calamity. Is that not fun? So we're going to be having big fun.
Sorry, I just want to add on to what you said right there. Is also to pray to remain the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahshua. As the elder, when we went to go visit brother, the elder made a good point. He was expressing that, like, pray. A lot of brothers don't pray enough or pray at all, and that's why sometimes you fall out of the truth. So, especially in these times, make sure you pray or pray even more to stay in the spirit of Yahweh Shah. But that's something that the elder was going over on the weekend. What you see the problem?
Communication with the Most High. You know, every day you have a mom, a dad, or sister, or brother, or wife, or whatever. You say something to them. How come you don't say anything to the Most High? You know, and that's the feeling when you go a whole day without, praying or doing a video or whatever. You feel guilty. You know, you're like, damn, I got 24 hours in the whole day and I even dedicate even 10 minutes to the Lord.
Lord don't forget to give you air.
Right.
You don't forget to give you water. You don't forget to give you food.
Right.
You don't forget to not make you cripple. But how come you forget to thank him for all those things?
It's a few seconds, man, a few minutes out of your day to right. Honor, yeah.
Ain't gotta be there saying you don't face it.
right, so with that, we're gonna wrap it up. All right, just want to go into that. Hey man, we are in that time of great judgment, man. 1 Peter 4:17, judgment is gonna go out starting at the house of Yahweh Hashem Shai. So get right, and if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, stay right. All right, stay in the spirit, and like we just went over, pray. All right, pray, fast, and stay in the spirit, man. Those are our most powerful weapons. That's right. Yep. Got anything else? All right, so with that, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. Next time, Shalom.